Henry Booth, 1st Earl of Warrington, was a Member of Parliament, Privy Councillor, Protestant protagonist in the Revolution of 1688, Mayor of Chester and author. Life. Booth was a son of George Booth, Baron Delamere and Lady Elizabeth Grey. His maternal grandparents were Henry Grey, 1st Earl of Stamford, and Anne Cecil, daughter of William Cecil, 2nd Earl of Exeter. Booth served as a Member of Parliament for Cheshire in 1678, 1679 and 1679–1681, and was conspicuous for his opposition to Catholics. He married Mary Langham, daughter of Sir James Langham, 2nd Baronet, on the 7th of July 1670, and they had 3 children who lived past infancy: George, Elizabeth, and Mary. In 1684, he succeeded his father as the 2nd Baron Delamere, at a treason trial in the House of Lords in January 1685. Delamere was accused of participation in the Monmouth Rebellion, and the presiding judge in the case was Judge Jeffreys, as Lord High Steward, sitting with 30 other peers. The defense secured an acquittal. During the Revolution of 1688, Booth declared in favor of William of Orange, and raised an army in Cheshire in support of him. After William was installed as William III, he made Booth Chancellor of the Exchequer in 1689. He wrote a number of political tracts, which were published after his death as the works of the Right Honourable Henry, late Earl Delamere, and Earl of Warrington. He also authored a tract in vindication of his friend, Edward Russell. He was created Earl of Warrington on the 17th of April 1690. He became Mayor of Chester in October 1691, and died on the 2nd of January 1694. Monumental inscriptions. In the Dunham chancel of the Church of Bowden is a monument placed between 2 windows on the south side of the chapel, and divided into 2 tablets, the first of which is inscribed, "Beneath lieth the body of the Right Honourable Henry Booth, Earl of Warrington, and Baron Delamere of Dunham Massey, a person of unblemished honour, impartial justice, strict integrity, an illustrious example of steady and unalterable adherence to the liberties and properties of his country in the worst of times, rejecting all offers to allure, and despising all dangers to deter him therefrom, for which he was thrice committed close prisoner to the Tower of London, and at length tried for his life upon a false accusation of high treason, from which he was unanimously acquitted by his peers on the 14th of January, MDCLXXXV, by which day he afterwards annually commemorated by acts of devotion and charity. In the year MDCLXXXVII he greatly signalized himself at the Revolution, on behalf of the Protestant religion and the rights of the nation, without mixture of self-interest, preferring the good of his country to the favor of the prince who then ascended the throne, and having served his generation according to the will of God, was gathered to his fathers in peace, on the 2d of January, 169 3/4, in the XLIID year of his age, whose mortal part was here entombed on the same memorable day on which 8 years before his trial had been. On the other tablet is inscribed, "Also rest by him the earthly remains of the Honourable Mary Countess of Warrington, his wife, sole daughter and heir of Sir James Langham, of Cottersbrick, in the county of Northampton, Kent, and Bar, a lady of ingenious parts, singular discretion, consummate judgment, great humility, meek and compassionate temper, extensive charity, exemplary and unaffected piety, perfect resignation to God's will, lowly in prosperity and patient in adversity, prudent in her affairs, and endowed with all other virtuous qualities, a conscientious discharger of her duty in all relations, being a faithful, affectionate affectionate, and observant wife, alleviating the cares and afflictions of her husband by willingly sharing with him therein, a tender, indulgent, and careful mother, a dutiful and respectful daughter, gentle and kind to her servants, courteous and beneficent to her neighbors, a sincere friend, a lover and valuer of all good people, justly beloved and admired by all who knew her, who, having perfected holiness in the fear of God, was by him received to an early and eternal rest from her labors on the 23rd of March 1690/1, in the 37th year of her age, calmly and composedly meeting and desiring death with joyful hope and steadfastness of faith, a lively draught of real worth and goodness, and a pattern deserving imitation, of whom the world was not worthy. Heb. She. 38.